Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a very exciting first impressions video for you. This is almost a double first impression, I suppose. What you are looking at right here is a knife from Stang Blade Works, and it is in a sheath from, come on, Buffalo Bones. The knife is the Boardwalk. I have been following Stang Blade Works for a long, long time. The Pyrenees is a very, very compelling knife, and eventually I do hope to add one to my collection. The Boardwalk as well is a knife that I love the design, I love the size. I've been wanting to get my hands on one for quite a while, but these are pretty popular. And so when Derek posts a bunch for sale, if you're not kind of pretty quick on the hop, you may miss out. And oftentimes these kind of land just at the wrong time where I just don't have the disposable income to jump on it. And so, after a number of years waiting, I finally have my hands on a Ffix blade that I have wanted to get a hold of for quite a while. So, haven't had time to do much of anything with this. There are a couple things that are pretty compelling to me. First of all, the blade steel on these, there we go, is 3V, which is a very, very good steel, very tough, very reliable, great steel for this application. The handle material is camo micarta, and he has done a great job texturing this micarta. Very, very grippy, very comfortable in hand. The other thing I have to say is in terms of function and utility, Derek has done a great job getting this to be a really good, very comfortable, very carryable size, while not sort of missing it in terms of it being big enough to big enough in the handle to give me a good comfortable grip. It absolutely does a great job of that, having enough blade here that I feel like I can get most of what I would need to do in many, many different applications taken care of. So really, really well balanced. Now this is not a large knife. Let me grab the ruler over here and just let you see. So you can see here we've got 7 3/4 inches. The blade length is very impressive at over 3 3/4, not quite. I guess we can call it 3 13/16. Grip area, 3 and yeah, I guess we'll call it 3.5. It starts to kind of head up here, but there's definitely room for your pinky there. So very, very nicely done. In terms of how this feels in hand, it is really, really comfortable, very natural feeling. And this is a knife that you can I feel like I can get a lot of work done with. This is a very confidence inspiring knife. Let me give you a weight, and then I'll put this back in the sheath. We'll talk about the sheath in a second here. So 4.8 ounces. Let's take a look at this blade. I love the milling lines left in the primary bevel. I love the overall shape of this, nice and wide. Really, really well done. Again, I keep coming back to the fact that this is just a really nicely balanced knife. It's thick enough blade stock. The jimping, by the way, is perfect. Like, it's not catching, but it's just a little bit of extra grip there. The finish on this as well, I have to mention that before. Look at the great stonewash that's on this, and you can ever so slightly catch the grind lines there, which I think looks fantastic. All right. Okay, now that we've talked mostly about the knife, I don't want to overlook the Sheath. So when I was able to pick this up, the very first email I sent, or the very first message I sent, was to Seamus over at Buffalo Bones. He has done these sheaths before and is pretty familiar with it. In fact, he owns this knife, so he was able to make this without having the knife on scene. And I specifically said to him, he had a couple of sheath variants, a scout version and then a hanging version. And I said, yeah, I want the hanging version, but can you shorten the loop so that this sits nice and high? For me, I want to at least have the option. This won't always be an EDC fixed blade, but I at least want to have the option of that. And so for me, moving that loop nice and low so the knife ride's kind of high is just perfect. That gets it up and out of the way so that if you sit down on a seat in the car, whatever else, you are not having your knife run into the seat you're trying to sit in all the time. So this is absolutely perfect. And let me just show you one more time both knife and sheath together. There you go. It looks fantastic as well. I mean, primarily, this is, especially a sheath, is about functionality, but this does look absolutely gorgeous. And I know this is like the least extravagant thing that Seamus does. With the sheath, this whole system weighs in at 6.7 ounces. All right, so beautiful sheath, really well executed. I love the fact that, and this is always an advantage when, when you're getting someone to make something, you can have that ability to, have some specificity in what you're wanting, and this is going to work great. I have had this on a belt. I couldn't wait. I just quickly threw a belt on and tried it out. The other thing that I think is great is the way this coil kind of lays back. I've had a few knife sheaths. I still have a few around where this wants to get in the way of the blade all the time, but here it works really, really well. All right, so there you go, guys. I'll come back with a full review and a bit more of a discussion on the Stang Bladeworks Boardwalk, but my first impression is very, very good. And yeah, I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited to have this, so you're probably getting a lot of that coming through. Maybe over time, I'll find some things that bother me about this, but on first handling this and getting to check out some of the details, I'm pretty darn happy. And given the fact that a number of others have had these and had very good things to say, I'm not suspecting that I'm going to be too let down. All right, so there you go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Huge thank you to Seamus for getting this out so quickly, and to Derek. Keep up the good work, guys. Very, very awesome, both of you. We'll talk to you soon.